Want to get in position. She was fun, right? Yeah, she was like a part of some college thing. I don't really know. I was like, you want to interview? Fine, that's cool.
Actually, we could probably switch places. I'm definitely left.
Sure. That would make sense if we do it the right way. No, it's all about who your heart is, not anything else. I wanted to get your sweet ride in there. We'll get it later. Okay. Cool. Very nice. So we'll just do like a casual interview. I lost one of them somewhere, so I'm gonna pass it back and forth. Okay. Sounds good. All right, here we're gonna do showtime. We'll do a little count. 3, 2, 1. GM, this is Blue Eye Queen. I'm here at the Abilities Expo, and I've got my new friend here. His name is Thomas. He was actually the start of my show. As I was entering the convention center here, he pulled me aside to say hi to my little puppy. See if we can get her on there. Okay, so she's sleeping, so she's hiding in the basket. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Mr. the Man of the Hour, Mr. Thomas. Tell us who you are.
My name is Thomas Daniel Queeter. Never quitter, rarely quieter. I've been an advocate for about 27 years, and I started a foundation, the Mobility Independence Foundation, THEMIF.org.
He's famous.
And that's how you can find out more about us. We create open source durable medical equipment. I'm sitting in our flagship product, and we're working with 4 universities. I do have to thank FUTO, F-U-T-O. They're our biggest funder. They've given us close to $500,000 in the last 10 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. FUTO. Round of applause. Thank you.
I'm here right after being at a tech expo, actually. Okay. SolidWorks is a computer-aided drafting and modeling program. It's kind of the world's biggest, baddest software for that. And they actually comped us about $20,000 worth of expenses to come let other people ride a wheelchair. And we have video now of young engineers in this wheelchair going over our rough terrain simulator, which we don't have here. Basically firewood. It drives over firewood. And, you know, they approach the rough terrain simulator with apprehension. They don't think it's going to do it. And then they're on it and they realize it does. And when they come off it, they're beaming with smiles because it was fun.
Oh my gosh, I bet. Oh my god, it's so cool. You have to check them out, everybody. I want to get up close and personal about you. Excuse me.
Really?
Yeah, would you be vulnerable and share to us what your disability or your unique ability is? Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
Well, I mean, I was a politician.
That is, yes, right there at top 3.
Biggest disability. No, so I was born with osteogenesis imperfecta, type 3. They diagnosed me to die on the first day, and I lived, so the second day, and I lived, so a week, and I lived, so 2 weeks. The last medical death sentence they gave me was 21 years old, and in June I turned 42. When I was 15 years old, my parents gave me the internet, the 28K modem back then.
Yeah.
And I discovered that there was a drug that could increase my bone density and reduce my fracture rate.
What is that drug? I need that.
It's actually readily available now, thanks to people like me, because it was not available for my condition at the time. They've been using it since the 70s for pageants and post-cancer treatment for low bone density. What the drug does is it increases your bone density. There's a family of them. I started with pimidinate, now I'm on reclass. But at that time, because it wasn't coded for my condition, I couldn't get it. And this is a drug that took my fracture rate from over 100 a year down to less than 1 a year. And it wasn't allowed. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I actually found doctors who were willing to put their licenses on the line to go through a Canadian study.
God bless.
And there were hundreds of us with my condition doing it at the time.
Yep.
And now it's readily available.
Yeah. I love to hear these types of stories because I have a bone density disease as well. I have sacral genesis. So my bones are of a 65-year-old woman, and I'm not 65, but they're so brittle and they're so fragile that if I have a broken bone, is most likely it's not going to be, you can't heal. So I think that you're already giving me awareness in some sense of things that could help my health.
Likely, yeah. Actually, I do advise other people with similar issues to seek it, because now we have the right to try. Probably the single and only good thing that President Trump ever did.
Yep. I'll grab
I'm not worried about it.
that. That was my phone number. He's not worried about.
You already put it in my phone.
Whoa!
I know I'm not worried about it because there's more right there.
There's more right there. He's right. I'm very readily available.
So the right to try means that if your doctor agrees with you or recommends it, you can get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our argument at the time to get my insurance company to pay for it was that it would lower their costs, and it did. Mm-hmm. I mean, 100 fractures a year is a lot of medical treatment. Yeah. Very expensive. Mm-hmm. Reducing that down to less than one made them decide that it was a good idea. Mm-hmm. Almost like logic matters.
Yeah, like, hello, have you felt like your body is now a bit easier to get up? What's the energy level? Is it different?
Oh, so 2 weeks after my first treatment was the first time that I sat up in bed without actually propping with my arms. That was when I actually started to be able to take care of myself in the bathroom. So today, if all of my limbs have fractures, I still take care of myself in the bathroom.
He's so funny. I love this.
Hey, well, look, from my perspective, yes. Every morning I wake up, I use the bathroom, and that's an accomplishment. How many people get to feel that way about the simplest of things every day? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, there's an awful lot of able-bodied people who don't get that feeling. Mm-hmm. And that's because they haven't been challenged enough in life. Mm-hmm. Our challenges and overcoming them, that's what makes us people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have so much. I hear stories like his, and it's similar to mine. I use medical devices to use the bathroom as well. So when he's saying this, like, I feel that. I have to use devices to go to the bathroom. So when and so it's very relatable.
Yeah, so my situation is very simple. I get a commode that goes over the toilet. That's it. That's it. Mm-hmm. And you know, you go to hotels or you stop at a rest area and they have an accessible bathroom, and it's a wide door, but it's a regular toilet. It's like,
how am I supposed to do this?
You want me to die? Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yes.
And so, the ADA was great and all, but it doesn't cover everything. It doesn't cover everyone.
Yeah, and some people, they don't even want to follow the rules until you make a complaint about it, right? And then it's because of cost or whatever reason, cutting corners, right?
So I'm on the board of a different nonprofit. And in the Cooperstown area, it's big on baseball. And they built a baseball park for the Pee Wee League games. I think it's the Cooperstown Dreams Park or something like that. They didn't put in accessible bathrooms. And when our foundation approached them, we were literally told cripples don't play baseball.
Woo, that would have not sat well with me at all.
We shut them down.
That's what's up.
We shut them down until they made it right because, okay, so there's no disabled people playing baseball. What about their grandparents? What about their parents or friends? Yeah. Everything needs to be somewhat accessible. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, that blows my mind because eventually you're going to be disabled. Yes. You're going to get older and you're going to be disabled.
That is great. The term is TAB, temporarily able-bodied. If you are walking around and you feel healthy, that will not last. Mm. Unless you were fortunate enough to die suddenly, you will be in a situation like ours.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand. They're not in it now, so they don't know what it feels like. And we need them to be able to adapt to that.
Well, they need to join our movement or they're going to suffer the same way we do.
Mm-hmm. What comes around goes around, and if you put it out there in the right form of energy, it comes back to you.
Absolutely. And, that's the law of attraction.
That's it. That's the name of it. I couldn't think of the name. See, we're already finishing each other's sentences, right?
Are you coming
Excuse me? He told me yesterday he has 3 girlfriends. He's about to make number 4 with my little baby back here, Oreo. Yeah.
Well, I think she's the one that wanted to come to me.
That's true. He was a very attractive person. She jumped right in his lap. I didn't even make it into the expo yet. And she's like, you got to talk to this man. It was the beard. She was kissing you.
So,
she's a flirt. Yeah, how do people join this movement? What can they do to join the movement?
Go to themif.org, mm-hmm. and in the menu, if you're a wheelchair user or a other equipment user, there's a survey, and there's a link called "Tell Your Story," and we want you to tell your story.
Mhm.
There are some basic questions
I'm
there,
gonna tell my story.
but if you have something to say that's not in those questions, the recorder will keep going. And some of us are suffering a lot and have a lot to say and a lot to complain, and we just need to say it sometimes.
Yeah, let it
And,
out.
and so I always tell people, if it's not in the question or it doesn't apply and you got to say it.
Yeah.
We want to hear it. You can change what we do by affecting what we're doing. Um, we call it democratization. We're democratizing the engineering process to create equipment, and while creating the social movement to change legislation so that they can stop holding us down. And that's what it comes down to. An insurance company is allowed to cut corners by the law, and if they don't, their shareholders will sue them out of existence.
Mhm.
Same with manufacturers.
Mhm.
I was just talking to another gentleman here who's got his own booth.
She's just moving.
I
I was
was
just
gonna
feeling
say,
it. Yeah, I see her. She's okay.
She
She's
can hear
like, yeah, she can hear you. She's like, are you singing sweet nothings to me? Very good girl.
So the ultimate goal here is to not only create open source designs that anybody in need can work with their community to build, because what I'm in, a high school tech class can build. But yet, when it breaks down, if it's through the system, they're waiting 5 months for somebody to show up and say, I don't know.
Yep, it's real.
So the reality here is that if we do it for ourselves and each other, we are better off.
Mhm.
And in a community, people who know you
Yeah,
will be better at doing that
definitely.
than when you pick up that phone and call somebody in another state who's in a cubicle.
Yeah.
They don't know your situation. They don't feel it.
No personal connection.
Right.
Mhm.
But your neighbors, right, the people in your town, the guy who owns the store down the street that sees you every day, they know what's up.
Yeah.
And if they're a part of building your equipment, then they're going to be a part of repairing that equipment. The Endurance Power Chair, which is our flagship design that we do in-house, is designed to last with proper maintenance that you can't get through our healthcare systems for 30 years or more.
Wow. And yeah, and I go through wheelchair every other year, so that's massive. It's
Um,
massive.
we're also we're working with Northeastern University to create an open source manual chair that can be built or repaired by any bicycle shop.
Wow. Did you hear that?
That's not only good for the U.S., that's good for third world countries, Africa, South America, because they don't have manufacturing for durable medical
Life-changing.
equipment, but they do have a bicycle shop on every corner.
Yeah. That is life changing. Like Thomas here is a motivational, inspirational speaker. I know he hears it all the time. If we could end our interview on one last question, what could you say to people that want to help persons with disabilities but they don't know how to ask them? What would you say?
Just ask.
Just ask. I do the same thing. Yes, please pick this up for me. Please carry me. Please do that thing. Don't be afraid.
I'll add a caveat to that. Don't do it without permission. I can open a door, and when you open it for me, you're taking away that accomplishment.
I agree. That independence as well, because it's like we want to be able to show that we are just like you in a different form.
So when I was a child, I had to do physical therapy.
Mhm.
My physical therapist worked out of an institution that housed those with disabilities. And as I'd go down the hallway, there'd be people parked in the corner, here and there, and unattended, and they're doing nothing, and they're kind of, medicated, dead in the eye, and it was a bad scene. And so I get to the office and I ask him, what's up with this? And he couldn't answer me because he worked there. What he did do was he pointed at me and he said, find your independence or else you'll end up in an institution, which is not a place to be.
No, yeah, exactly. Just like find what works for you. Everybody's different. We all have our ways that we want to do things. Your way is not the same way as my way.
Oh, absolutely. That's the other great thing about open source. If it doesn't meet your needs, it's just a design. No one's stopping you from changing it.
That's it. Yep. Well, Thomas, it's been a pleasure to hang out with you today. If our friends want to get in touch with you, what's the best way they can follow you or find you?
Well, you can search my name. I don't recommend it because I was in politics. But Thomas Queter, Quiter. You can follow the organization on any social media that you will find on the website, themif.org, the Mobility Independence Foundation, or the Myth, because we're miffed.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Thomas. Everybody, this is Blue Eye Queen. We had a pleasurable time here with the interview. Appreciate your time today, Thomas. Okay.